Hey, it's Midnight Raven, and today we have a new case for you called the Vanishing Triangle. So this is True Crime with Raven. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully my confidence is building and you're liking my stuff because I am so trying on camera to be professional and to give you the best details and information I can on these cases. This was an interesting case. So this is I think it's a three-part case because this has the death of 6 women in it, and we want to make sure that we give each woman a chance to have her details of her case. So we are going to look at the details surrounding the case first, and then in parts 2 and 3 we're going to look at the deaths of 3 women in the second part and the deaths of 3 women in the third part. So I hope you don't mind this being broken up, because if not, this would be like a 45-minute video. So this is the Vanishing Triangle. So on the 11th of February 2000, a young woman in Carlo Island was walking to her car after work when she was stopped by a stranger. Maybe he was lost. Maybe he was asking her for the time. Maybe he thought he knew her. But instead, the man later identified as Larry Murphy would hit her over the head, punch her in the face, and break her nose before dragging her kicking and screaming into his parked car. He then told the woman to strip off her clothes and to take off her shoes. He then used her bra to tie up her hands and then shoved her into the boot of his car. That is a lot in a very short time, I know. But this girl had literally just left work. That's all she had done. So Larry then drove 9 miles into the countryside before pulling over, where he would then assault her and then drive to the Wicklow Mountains, which was a beauty spot near Larry's home. He would then assault her not once but 2 more times before then trying to strangle her to death with a shopping bag. As you can tell, this isn't a very well thought out plan. She would have died if it had not have been for 2 hunters that were in the area. He was assaulting her outside of the car on the floor. The 2 men saw Larry grappling with this woman in the beauty spot, sort of on the side near his car. These 2 men then raced up and realized what he was doing to her. He was then approached by the 2 men who were assaulting this woman, and Larry then left the woman, jumped in his car, and sped off back home, would you believe, to his wife and children. One of the hunters had recognized Larry, though, so was his case blown wide open then? He was a local carpenter, and Larry would then be arrested by police after the hunters went to the police with the details they knew about the assault on this young woman. Larry was then questioned about the injuries on the woman, and Larry showed no remorse, and he said, "Well, she's still alive, isn't she?" with a cold, dead look on his face. In January 2001, Larry pleaded guilty to abduction, assault, and attempted murder. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison. The 2 hunters had put a predator, so they thought, behind bars. In the 7 years leading to Larry's arrest for the assault on that woman, there had been a number of disappearances of young girls in the vicinity of where this girl was attacked. This was a 70 square mile radius in the east of the country. The area would then get the nickname the Vanishing Triangle, meaning that any woman that went into this 80 square mile area had the chance of just vanishing. That's crazy, right? In the Vanishing Triangle, over a time period, 6 women had disappeared. Each had their own story, and each had disappeared without a trace and with no body ever being found. Despite large-scale searches, task force and the police, these cases remained unsolved. While Larry was in prison, though, for the assault on that woman, no more other people disappeared in that 15-year period. How crazy is that? The women only started disappearing again when he was let out of jail. His brother claimed that he believed that Larry had something to do with the crimes, hence the killing and the mysterious women not going missing while his brother was in jail. Larry had always claimed his innocence. Although he had attacked the woman that he was put in jail for, he denied any involvement in any other attacks. Each of these women's cases, which we're going to hear in part 2, are still open to this day, and each case has its own theories and conspiracy theories, which we're going to look at. So in part 2, you're going to join me and we're going to learn about the 3 women that had gone missing at one point. We're going to look at Annie McCarrick, we're going to look at Jojo Dullard, and we're going to look at Fiona Pender in part 2. So if you want to hear the stories about these 6 women that had disappeared, do join me for part 2 and 3, where we're going to go through the details and discover whether it is possible that Larry was the one killing the women and that the crimes did stop when he was in jail. If you want to see more from me, this is True Crime with Raven. Support the channel however you wish, a PayPal, a super chat, a donation. Become a member, and I will see you for part 2, where we're going to look more into the case called the Vanishing Triangle. This is True Crime with Raven. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye guys.